a biker, this was all caught on a biker's helmet camera, was being bike jacked at gunpoint, and an off-duty cop shot him right then and there.
So here's the guy.
So the guy just pulls up. It's actually a really brazen move.
Yeah.
And he was on the back of that other guy's bike. He puts the gun to this guy's thing and takes his bike, right? And the guy runs for his life. It's understandable. And he thinks he's going to get away with it. And his friend in the red bike takes off, okay? As you can see there. And then, if you can see, there's a guy who, who turns out to be an undercover cop, comes straight up to the guy with the gun and shoots him.
Shoots him dead right there, point blank.
Wow.
Yeah. So again, the full video of this is on liveleak.com.
Wow.
They own the rights to that. Otherwise, we would have snagged it, borrowed it. And
and that kid died. That guy died right there. So
where did he? Wow. We shoot him in the head, or?
It's unclear from there.
Yeah,
I mean, it was point blank though.
So we don't know where the undercover cop came from.
Wow.
But he just jumped up, and then at that point, the guy whose bike was getting stolen came back, right? And they don't know that the assailant is going to die, and he's yelling at him he's like you son of a bitch, et cetera, right? And it didn't look like in the video they were making too much of an effort to call 911 in Brazil, right? And then the guy wound up dying.
What do you think on this? I mean, are we doing the Supreme Court on this?
Yeah,
Is that where the Supreme Court's coming
let's
in?
drop it. I know it's a little controversial, but go ahead. So here's my question to you guys. Now, look, if somebody comes up, points a gun to your head, and steals your bike and the stuff you have on you, I mean, I'd be livid, right?
Yeah.
I'd be furious, and I want a cop to come protect me. That's the perfect time for a cop to come and protect you. On the other hand, and the guy's got a gun. I don't blame the cop. I mean, you see the movies, and that's in America, of course. It's in Brazil. Everybody's got different rules, but not like it happens in America anymore. But in the movies, it'd be like freeze,
right?
And and the cop tells you to stop first, and then he shoots. I know, laugh along with me. That doesn't happen in the U.S. anymore either. Shoot first, but at least the guy's got a gun. Unfortunately, so many stories we cover these days, they don't even have a gun when the cops come in shooting. But the guy died. So what would you rather have happen? The cop comes and saves your stuff, but the guy who was robbing you dies?
Yeah, well, I think there's two issues here, because one is whether if you had a gun, what would you do, right? That's the first part. If you had a gun and someone came up to you with a gun, I think you're fully warranted in shooting them. I mean, that's just using American law here. I know this is in Brazil, stand your ground, that kind of thing. You could probably shoot this guy and get away with it. And you don't know, maybe he was about to kill you, so okay.
Right.
Should the cop then, the undercover cop, immediately walk up to the guy and shoot him point blank? I mean, maybe the cop should have, from 15 feet away, shot him in the leg and figured out a way.
Yeah, they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. I don't blame him for, because then you're more likely to get shot.
No, I say
exactly. So I'm not saying that's what he should have done, but I could see the argument at least. I could see someone making the argument that there's other ways for the undercover cop to have dealt with this rather than just walk up to him and shoot.
See, no, I'm only asking this because we're soft-headed liberals. Okay.
Can I tell you my opinion?
Fair.
Yeah,
Can I tell you my opinion?
Because I think a great majority of Americans would say, "Oh, shoot him." There's no question. Okay, so Jimmy, what do you think?
Shoot him.
That's
what
I didn't know which way you were going to go.
So much for soft-headed liberal.
I don't know if you've ever I've had a gun pulled on me. It's the scariest thing in the world. You could die at any second. That guy's finger twitched, or he slipped off the bike, and he could have shot that guy and killed him.
Right.
That guy's got to die.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, there goes the soft-headed liberal nonsense.
So even though
that's my personal experience. I've had a gun pointed at me. Man, it is the worst feeling in the world.
Right. But even though the immediacy of the guy who had the bike stolen, that threat was gone already because he was out of the picture at that point.
But you know what? The cop comes up, the guy's got his gun. I'm guessing the guy didn't drop the gun right away.
Right.
And the cop just shot him. He could have shot him right. Just shoot him.
No.
Guy's got a gun on him, shoot him. He just pulled a gun. You just saw it happen. Shoot him.
Wow, that's interesting.
Wow,
so here's my thoughts on it, right? In your scenario, Dave, I don't pull the gun because he's got a gun. If I pull a gun, we're going to start shooting, and I have an excellent chance of dying.
Okay.
I'd much rather have him take my stuff than take a 25%, 50%, 75% chance I'm going to die. I don't want to do that, right? Second of all, he's got my stuff. I have the gun on me, in Dave's hypothetical. I don't shoot him because it's just a bike. I don't want to kill the kid over a bike. I'm mad, I hope he gets arrested, spends a long time in jail, etc. But I don't want to shoot the kid. right? And in my hypothetical, would I have the cop shoot him? No, I'd rather have him get away with my bike. So I'm the soft-headed liberal in this case.
Well, you know what? So I had the second time I had a gun pointed at me. It was on Halloween by some kids, right? So when I say kids, I don't know, 17, 18, and they mugged me, right? So they got a gun and pointed at me, and I was so upset that they were using the cover of Halloween. Right?
Oh, yeah. That's weird, but you're right. That pisses me off a little bit more.
Interesting. Really? And I had pulled up, I was in the driveway of my house. And all of a sudden, these kids come walking out, hey, give me your money. And I turn around, and they got a gun on me. And I was just like, that's what really, I don't know why that drove me nuts. And so I just pulled my wallet out, and I threw it at their feet, And the guy goes, what are you doing? And I'm like, I go, fuck you. You want me to respect you while I didn't say that? I go, fuck you.
Right.
And I shouldn't have said that. He's got a gun at me.
Yeah.
And
that's totally true.
I know.
But had you so you threw
so then
your
he
wallet
takes
down.
my wallet and he turns it upside down and dumps all the shit out, and then they just walk away. And he goes, "Give me your keys." So now he has the keys in my house.
Wow.
So
See, you know what changes the equation and why this question is interesting?
But I didn't want the kid to die. You know what? I wanted that kid beaten up. But I didn't want him to die. I didn't want him to be shot. I guess that didn't.
So you retracting what you said earlier?
But because he was a kid. But this guy seemed like a guy. But he was a kid. These were 17-year-old kids.
See, but that's why it's so interesting, because like if it's just me, take the bike. I don't care. I don't want the kid getting shot.
Right.
I'd rather have him get tackled and spend a long time in jail, etc. But if it's my family, then I want a little vengeance, right? Then I mind him getting shot a little less. Do you see what I'm saying?
If it was my wife, I'd be like, that's it. You're going down.
Right, yeah.
You put a gun on my wife, you're going down.
Yeah, so the house thing is really scary.
Yeah, so I had to change my lock that night.